Hello and a very good day everyone. So today we will learn on how we can actually compile multiple Excel files, and each Excel file has multiple worksheets. Okay, and just have a look over here. So for example, in this Malaysian Excel file, we do have worksheets like Kuala Lumpur, Ipoh, Seremban, Kuantan, Sungai Petani. So basically, in each worksheet, they have the sales of respective Apple products. iPhone, MacBook, Apple Watch. The same thing over here. iPhone, MacBook, Apple Watch. So if you notice carefully, we do have the Apple sales from iPhone to other products, and each basically in the respective location. So in this Malaysia Excel file, we have the sale of the respective cities, and we also have for just say South Korea. So for South Korea, we have for Busan, Seoul, Ulsan, Daegu, and then the same thing for England, where we have for London, Manchester, Liverpool. So apparently all the files, if you notice, basically resided in this particular case study folder, whereby we have USA folder, UAE, Thailand, Tamil Nadu, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Maharashtra, Japan, and so on. So basically what my manager wants is, my manager wants to compile all the Excel files and compile all the worksheets. Instead of copy paste one by one, what my manager wants to do is, he wants to actually compile and then from there perform data analysis. So let's get started. Okay, so now if you look here carefully, I have actually created a folder, and in this particular folder we do have the Malaysia Excel file. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to close all these files. So I'm going to close this file, and I'm going to close this file, and yes, all this folder as well. So right now what I want to do is, I actually need to import the data. So if just say you want to combine all the Excel files, you don't need to actually import from Excel file. Instead, you can actually import from the folder. So you go to data, you click get data, and then what you do is, from file, instead of selecting Excel workbook, you can actually select from folder. You click over here, so a box will appear, and they will actually ask you which folder you want to choose. So in my desktop, I have a folder called case study 2. So case study 2, I click over here. So basically this is the folder I want to import. Bear in mind, you don't have to double click, because when you double click, it will go inside, it will navigate inside. What you need to do is, you need to select this particular folder, and then you press open. Once you press open, you will notice a box will appear. So what you do is, actually you can actually press combine and load to, combine and load, and combine and transform. But in this case, apparently since each worksheet is different, so I'm going to go to transform data. Once I go to transform data, eventually it will go to Power Query Editor. So what happened here is, in this case, I want to actually add a query function called Excel Workbook. So go to add column, go to custom column. So I'm going to add a function called Excel Workbook. So Excel Workbook over here. So they will actually ask me what is the binary. So apparently in our content column, we do have a binary over here. So over here we do have the worksheet. So I'm going to press here, insert the content and close bracket. Okay, so Excel Workbook, what it does is, it will try to actually capture the respective worksheets that resided in that particular file. So I'm going to press OK, and then you will notice that another column will be added. So what you need to do is, you need to expand, because in this particular table over here, we have all the worksheets like the Kuala Lumpur worksheet, Ipoh worksheet, and so on. So I need to actually expand this and then press OK. And then I have to actually expand another column, because over here we do have a column. So this is all our worksheet where we have the sales of iPhones, Apple products, and so on. So I need to actually expand this. So once I expand this, and then I press OK, and then there you go. But bear in mind, you have to actually make sure that this particular column shows worksheet, because sometimes it can show table range and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is, I want to actually make sure that this custom kind here only filter worksheet, because sometimes it will show us range and so on. So I'm going to show here, of course right now it shows sheet. So I'm going to go here, text filter, contents. I'm going to click here, contents, So once I click contents, I only want to contain the word sheet only. Okay, I don't want to show a range and so on, table range and whatnot. And then I press OK. So over here, it will show me, it will filter the row. Next thing is, I want to remove the unnecessary column because we have so many columns, right? So I want to remove all the columns. So, but before I remove, I want to actually separate this particular file, this column, because we have _Malaysia.excel format. So I go to transform. So under transform, we do have split column. So what I do is I click split column by delimiter, and I want to remove, separate it. So yeah, the full stop, press OK. So now this is, because this one I want to show like the country, the region. So this column I don't want, I remove. And this column, all these I don't want, I remove. This column I don't want, this column not necessary, so I don't want. And here we have Kuala Lumpur, iPhones. Okay, so let me just scroll to the right. You can actually press Ctrl G to actually go to the other column, but I want to just check carefully so that I don't miss out any unnecessary columns. So like column 16 and until the end, I don't really need it, so I can just remove. So there you go. So over here we do have like region, here we do have like the cities, here we do have the products, here are the models, and here the monthly and the sales. So I need to select these two columns first, right click, and then I go to fill and I click fill down. So automatically it will fill down. And then after that, what happened is I actually want to filter out whatever that is null and total. Basically, I can actually remove the first two rows and then use first row as header to promote January, February as a header. But apparently, since here we have Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur as our information, so when you promote it as a header, it will read Malaysia as the header. And this might cause us an error if suppose we do have additional data. So what I will do is, I'll just click over here, I will unselect the null and I will unselect the total. So once I do this, so now our data looks cleaner because here we have the countries, the region, here we have the cities, here we have the product, here we have the model. But here we do have the monthly data. So I'm going to just type this. So if you are an expert or you know a better way, you can just type in the comment section. But I'm going to type manually. So here we have Jan, here we have February. Okay, so now we do have the respective columns where we have, of course you may ask me why I never use first row as header, because otherwise Malaysia and Kuala Lumpur will be promoted as header. Because next time when I want to automate the data, when I add all the files, I want to make sure that there's no error and so on. Okay, so now I'm going to select all these columns over here, right click, and I'm going to press unpivot other columns. So when I unpivot, so there you go, we have January until June. Why we don't have the July data? Because from July onwards it is null. So whenever the columns is empty or there's a blank space, it will show null. And whenever it's null, when you unpivot, it will not show the value. So right now what I will do is I will try to format accordingly. So I'll select all these, I go here and I'll format this into a text format. This one I'll format into decimal number. Okay, so this one here I'll name it as region. Over here I'll name it as cities. This one here, this column I'll name it as product. This will be the models. This is the months. And there you go. So now we do have a proper clean database. So what you can do is you can go to home and you can click close and load. By clicking close and load, eventually it will load as a table format in a new worksheet. What I want to do is I want to actually press close and load too, because when you press close and load too, it will give you several options like pivot table, pivot chart, only click connection. If you are using Excel 2016, you will have two options, which is table and only click connection. In this case, since I'm using the latest Excel version, so I'll have this. Even you're using 2019, 2021, 2024 or 365, you will have this box will appear. So I'm going to select pivot table report and I'm going to press OK. So once I press OK, what happened is you will notice right now it will appear in a pivot table format. So right now, if just say I tick the countries or the region and I tick the cities, so now here we have Malaysia, we have all these things, and then when I tick the values, so we get to know what is the total Apple product sales in the respective cities. And to make it better, what I'll do is I'll press here right click, number format, and I'll choose here number, use thousand separator, don't have decimal, and I press OK. So right now it looks cleaner, so we get to actually understand what is the total sales for the respective cities. And to make it better, I can press here, right click, and I sort largest to smallest. So based on our understanding, now we get to know that Sungai Petani in Malaysia has the largest sales, largest apple product sales. And I just want to know the monthly performance. So I put here the monthly performance. So over here we get to know what is the monthly performance. So we have Sungai Petani, Kuala Lumpur, Seremban, Kuantan, Ipoh. So now what happened is, if just say I want to actually select all these files, so just say I select USA, UAE, Thailand, Tamil Nadu, and I put over here. So everything right now, just now we only have Malaysia file, but now we have another 4 files, making it 5 files. So right now, when I just press here right click and I press refresh, you will notice it will add up the data. So you can actually do the same as well. So what you can do is, you can select all these files, put it in the folder. So now we do have about 12 different files, 12 different regions. So now when I just press right click and I refresh, automatically it will be updated. So you will get to know, okay, who is the highest, and it will actually show us what are the highest sales city for respective region. Like for example, in Tamil Nadu, Madurai is the highest, Thailand, Bangkok is the highest, UAE, Sharjah is the highest. And the interesting part is, you can do the same for the countries as well. So right click and then you sort largest to the smallest. So we get to know, oh okay, Thailand is the highest, Malaysia is the second highest, and this is how we can actually read the data. So you can actually understand, and you can actually provide a storytelling that which city is the highest. And we can do a lot of analysis actually. So I can just put it over here. I can just press right click, and then I can actually go to show value as, and I can actually show value as the parent column total. So once I click it over here, so we get to know, okay, so about 20% of the sales goes to Thailand in the month of January. And then when you accumulate it all, you will get to know, okay, this is the data. Or you want to show maybe percentage of parent row total. So when I right click over here, I go to show value as, and I click percentage of parent row total. So when I click like this, then you will actually get to understand, okay, so for January is about 100% allocation, and we get to know about 24% goes to Bangkok. And over here, so the same thing, we can actually read the numbers. We can actually provide storytelling, like who is the highest and so on. So like we can actually give a story behind the numbers. So apparently, like for example, in Malaysia, Sungai Petani and Kuala Lumpur dominate the sales. So if just say I free spin, okay, so when I free spin, you can actually get to know the storytelling. So we get to know, okay, so 23%, about 46% dominated by SP, Sungai Petani and Kuala Lumpur. So basically, this is how we can actually provide a data analysis, data storytelling to the management for them to actually understand, okay, what's going on and so on. And the interesting part is, we can actually use pivot table analyze, and we go to insert slicer. So from here, you can actually, up to you, you want to click models or product. So when I click on product and just say I want to know based on iPhones. So when I click on iPhones, okay, I get to know, okay, so apparently in iPhone, Sungai Petani dominates the sales. And then if they see, when I click Apple Watch, we can see who is the highest and so on. So basically, Power Query can do the data compilation, data cleaning, data transformation. Pivot Table does the data analysis, data presentation, data storytelling. So this is how we can actually utilize Power Query and Pivot Table to perform our tasks effectively.